Hello again, fellow homesteaders. We are now going to clean out the oven that has recipes number 2, number 3, and number 5 that have been settling or soaking for about 15 minutes to half an hour. So you can see how well they clean and which one you like best. And because I'm using natural cleaning ingredients instead of all the caustic, nasty chemicals you flee your house for when you clean your oven normally, when our youngest granddaughter Audie wanted to help, and she's only 3, I told her she could. She's in charge of the vinegar rinse, and it's always great to include the kids in learning how to use natural cleaners and mix them. She put the fun on the bottle, and I poured the vinegar in, and she learned how to thread the threads in the bottle and screwed it up, and she's waiting as quietly and as patiently as what she possibly can for her turn to squeeze that into the oven. So I'm going to start here with the window. This was really, really dingy, so I'm seeing possibly in my future some more vinegar scrubbing here. I don't think this has been cleaned in a very, very long time. So I was foreseeing maybe having to do a little bit more on this glass window than what I normally, somebody else who keeps up with their oven more would do. There's just a lot of built-up grime on that. So you can see one treatment took a lot of it off. You can look at my rag here, but it is not cutting all that. Now when I put vinegar on here, that may help. But even with my damp cloth, I did not get all of that up. It's just too baked on. So now we will try it inside of the oven. Just going to use a damp cloth. Wipe up this goo. And you may need several cloths because you'll have big parts coming off. Even though I already did a bunch of the big flakes and got them out before I started, as per the instructions on the oven prep. Trying to reach back in here without blocking the entire view. And it's hot, it's 90-some degrees out. Talked my husband to foregoing air conditioning years ago. Didn't like it, messes up your sinuses, and dries out your contacts. Had to keep all the windows and doors closed up, worried about kids and dogs going in and out. So I don't like air conditioning, plus it makes you weak. We are not just homesteaders, but survival homesteaders. One day you may no longer have the option of air conditioning, and if you're used to being in that canned air environment all the time, I think it's going to make you weaker. And go ahead, I don't want to have just my head in front of the screen, but I wanted you to get a good view of what it did. I got a little piece of aluminum foil back there that I'm going to have to pull off with fingernails, but it did come off rather easily. So we'll get out of your road for a minute. I'm going to show you this rag. Completely white, fresh out of the wash just a few minutes ago. And that is how filthy my oven was. And you can see now that the inside is really clean. There's a few pieces in back that didn't come off, but that was just because I wasn't going to get right in front of the oven and reach in there and get those and block the camera for several minutes. But those will come up just as easily as the others. So as you can see, each section to me looks about the same level of cleanliness. This part over here was the spray. This part here was the paste. And this part here was the vinegar, that was number 3, where you just put on the baking soda and then you squirt the vinegar on top of it. And that or the spray tends to be my favorite. I like the spray because it gets in all these little nooks and crannies. And I do have some more wiping out to do here. But as dirty as this was, because I've put off the chore for a very, very long time, I am not displeased whatsoever. But in these little ridges here and all those areas around your stove, the spray just seems to get in there a whole lot better than having to worry about sprinkling the baking soda everywhere. I'm much happier with how my oven turned out than the door with this window, but that's all my fault because I've not cleaned it in so long. Now I'm going to look for a dry towel, and should have had it handy. Sorry about that, folks. And I'm going to wipe this out. Audie, you want to help me dry out the oven? Nope, she's just waiting with her squirt bottle. So maybe you can get a really good view of what it looks like. And there's, like I said, still a few spots in the back that I'll finish cleaning when the video is off. But now you can see how it looks. Pretty brand spanking new almost. Some little spots there that are worn on that probably aren't going to come out. And now that you have done your cleaning, which I'm really not completely done, but for the sake of demonstrating, we finished our cleaning. So if you want to, you can squirt the vinegar on for a nice rinse. And if you have to clean again, if you decide it's so dirty you still have some spots that won't come up, the vinegar rinse can actually be a more in-depth cleaner to help loosen up those spots. Okay, Audie, you're on. You may now squirt inside of there. Go ahead, honey. She's been waiting and waiting to squirt. There you go. Squirt way, lean in and squirt way inside the oven. Good job. Keep squirting everywhere. Squirt it on the sides. There you go. Might take her a little while to do all the squirting, so while she's squirting, I'm going to spread this around. Try not to squirt. Yeah, go ahead. Squirt that well, sweetheart. And there was a spot that I wasn't reaching in front of you to clean just because I didn't want to be so rude, and it brought up that little bit of dirt that I just hadn't been able to reach yet. So, Audie, lean back 1 second for Yaya. Well, shoot, wait, we have more wet here now. I wanted you to see how nice and shiny that is with the oven light hitting on it. I'm going to go ahead and let her squirt for a bit, and because she's enjoying it. I like including the children into helping making and doing all kinds of chores. Probably an evil grandmother. I let them needle felt and use pointy grown-up scissors and all kinds of things under direct adult supervision to teach them how to be responsible from the get-go. Here you go. So then she can go home and clean Mommy's oven. But it does make a big difference. I still have some elbow grease to go and get the patches that I didn't get because I would totally block the view of the camera had I done that. But you can see how well this cleans, just as well as a chemical cleaner in my opinion, even on a filthy oven. And you don't have all the caustic chemicals. You don't have to worry about children or pets being around it. Your oven being on and making the house hot for hours on end. And it does get the job done. I'm going to go ahead now and wipe out everything Audie did and go ahead and scrub off the little bits in there that I couldn't get without reaching right in front of you, but it does a great job, and the window is my fault. And when I get that nice and clean, I will update this article and tell you how many different cleanings I had to do to get that accomplished.